What's happening, my brother?
What's up, Bob? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Good to see you. For those of us that have not had the pleasure, could you please introduce yourself, man, so everybody know who you are?
Yes, my name is Tim Lynch, alias Dr. Scholls.
Dr. Scholls. I love those doctor names, man. Dr. Scholls. How did you? But since we don't, how did you come up with Dr. Scholls?
I chose Dr. Scholls because Dr. Scholls is the foot doctor, and I was known for my foot movement when it came to dancing.
Oh, okay. Well,
Dr.
hey,
Scholls.
hey, man, that was a perfect name. It's one of my favorite doctor names too, man. Dr. Scholls, man, and it makes sense, my brother. So Tim, Dr. Scholls.
Dr. Scholls.
We all went to the same high school, man. What year did you graduate from Mendel Catholic?
I came out of Mendel in 1976.
1976, my brother. So, how did you become a member of the doctors? The doctor's manager. This is our manager, you guys.
Let me start right here.
Okay.
A lot of my friends were a couple of years younger than me, like you, Quinn, Anthony Somerville, all the doctors. They were a couple of years behind me. But I took a liking to all of you all. And when I was in school at all the parties, I noticed that the doctors were the most popular. And because I was a couple of years older, I decided to get in on the management end. I said, hey, these guys could use a manager. So I was on the business perspective side of that.
That's right. That's that. I agree with that, man. Absolutely. And so do you have what would you say, like what if you would say it began, what year would you say the doctors began?
I would say, from my perspective, I think it was, I know I was still in school there, so right. I would say 1975, 1976.
75, 76, okay, okay, I agree with that, that man, okay. And what would you like, let me see, how could I say this? How did you, when did you know that the group was going to be popular, successful? Did anything occur, or?
Parties.
Okay.
The doctors gave a party. As a matter of fact, speaking of the parties, it was the plugger style also that the doctors put out.
Yeah, yeah.
They had artists, one of our other doctor members, Jamie Shelton.
Right, right.
I forgot his doctor name right now. It kind of slipped my mind.
That was Dr. Kiley.
Dr. Kiley.
Yes,
yes.
yes.
I just know Jamie. He was a great artist.
Mm-hmm.
And the pluggers that the doctors put out, it kind of differed from all the other pluggers that were out at the time.
Right, right.
But I also noticed this. After the doctors plugger with their artistic style,
right.
I noticed that some of the other groups that came about, they kind of took off after the style of plugger that the doctors were using also.
Right, right. And speaking of that, other groups, there were other groups, and like what were people doing? How were they identifying themselves? How were they recognized? How would, like, you would know?
All the different dance groups had identifying T-shirts, so to speak. Okay, and some of our biggest rivals at the time: Ebony Gents, Gentlemen's Quarterly,
GQ,
Chosen Few,
the Chosen Few,
Blue Smoke.
Blue Smoke, okay.
But the thing about the whole thing was that, as an alternative to street gangs, it was all in good fun. You know, we were all friends. You know, but everybody had their own group. You know.
So there were different groups. We were competitive, but we were friendly.
That's
we were friends to
right.
each other, and that was really amazing to me too, how that ended up. Where we all ended up being such good friends, even to this day.
Yeah.
Almost like 40 years later, man. Yeah. Well, I bumped into some guys, and we're still friends. And, you know, we don't start dancing or nothing like that.
Right.
Used to. Right. But Tim, now before you became our manager, like you said, we were friends anyway. Yes. You know, we were friends anyway. Yes. So Tim, the doctors gave a dance contest at the Park Palladium.
I remember that.
I wonder why. Why do you remember that?
I remember
I wonder why.
I remember that because I I was in the contest.
Okay.
Me and Shaman Abner.
Yes, rest in peace.
Yeah,
rest in peace,
rest
man.
in peace. God bless her.
Mm-hmm.
We actually tied for first place
Yes.
in that contest.
Mm-hmm. And that's true. I remember, Tim, and I think the crowd was like a, oh man, that was really kind of, we just couldn't decide, so we just said forget it. It's a tie. It's a tie, man. And both of you guys, both the contestants went home with the prize that day.
Right.
I think it was like $50 maybe.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
It was a lot of money back then.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it drew a lot of attention. And so. What would you like? What would you like to be remembered about you, about the doctors, about the whole? What would you like to be remembered about us? You think?
The main thing is that I appreciate the fact that during my teenage years, because that was a fun time.
Yeah,
time. We weren't involved in any type of violence. It was just big fun every week. And I also remember some of the women groups, some of the girl groups.
Okay, they're women now.
like the secretaries, which were my favorite.
Oh yeah, secretaries.
And there was the operators, the gyms.
Oh man, come on.
There's women groups, the girl groups, I should say.
You know what, I'm gonna get in big trouble because I haven't mentioned them one time. I'm gonna give them the biggest shout out I can right now because they were also our sister school. The Slick Chicks.
Okay.
They originated from Academy of Our Lady. Longwood was our sister school.
Right.
And they would throw down too, man.
That's right.
And I'm hoping that somebody from there can come on and talk because I love them too. I love the secretaries. I love the gyms. I love all y'all.
Right.
Don't get it twisted, okay?
Right.
But the girl groups really sustained us. I think they really helped elevate us. You know. And you know what else? One other thing I want to have to say about the women, the young ladies, they were all beautiful.
That's right. You read my mind. I was gonna say they were all good looking girls.
Man, come on, man.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you certainly had to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which ones I want?
Man, and it was so
I choose?
That's so good. But Tim, you said we had fun, man. We were carefree, and we were laughing the other day. Talking about the Mendel days, the Mendel experiences, and how we would go to the parties, and the teachers were our chaperones.
Right.
The teachers were our chaperones. You remember Mr. Bush?
Okay.
They were the chaperones, and they would take the money at the door. And
Speaking of that,
we were talking about.
Speaking of that, okay. I never really used the front door too much when it came to them. I was a teenager then.
Yeah.
So I didn't use the front door too much. I had a couple of dollars in my pocket all the time, but
okay.
If there was a way to get in free, I was gonna get in free. So as far as the front door, you could find me on the side door, the back door, or
so in other words, you didn't know who was taking the money.
I didn't know who was taking the money at the door anyway. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
At the same time, I do remember this. That the secretaries gave a party, and I was so enthused with them.
Oh yeah.
I remember I actually went to the front door and paid to get their party.
Hey man, come on. We had fun, man. Mr. Adams, Mr. Bush, Father O'Grady, everybody was on the door, and they were our chaperones. But you know what I like to tell people, that we only had one police officer. He was the whole security, like, for the whole thing, and for the bi-levels, that was a lot of people, man.
Now speaking of bi-levels.
Okay.
The bi-levels, the reason how that started at Mendel, because of the parties that we gave, there were so many people. A lot of people don't know this about the Mendel parties. There were so many people coming to the parties. We used to have it only in the gymnasium at the time.
Right.
So they had to open up another level.
Yeah.
So they made it, so now we have upstairs, downstairs. Yeah. I give the doctors a lot of credit for that too. I think because we were the people from Mendel and the hottest group.
You know, I try to describe stuff like, and I came to the conclusion that the doctors were like an attraction an attraction that attracted the people to Mendel, because Mendel actually asked us to give a party there.
Yeah.
And we agreed to. We had to go home and ask for permission first from our mothers, but they let us. They asked us to give a party there, and like you said, they started just giving parties by themselves.
That's right.
And then, like you said, it was just so many people coming that they had to open up. It was like a fire hazard if you didn't. You had to do something. It was too many people.
They said the doctors, it's the doctors giving the party. They were coming. Because we knew there were going to be a lot of pretty girls there.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. A lot of times they talk about the basketball team.
Okay.
It was a draw.
Yeah.
The school itself, because of the beautiful campus, it was a draw. All those things coming together, all the planets lining up. So Tim, when you think about all that, when you look back on that glorious history that we had, what you want to say?
There was some really good times. Some of the best times of my life. Those high school years. That was the best time. And it was so fun going to all the parties. When it came to the house music, I remember you gave a party at the warehouse one time, and when you gave the party, a lot of people don't know that's where house music came from. That's from the warehouse.
Right, the name.
That's where house music came from. But you gave a party there, and from there, we started playing some of the same type of music at the Mendel parties, and we kind of brought it over there. We kind of had something to do with that.
I say, man, I took Mendel to the warehouse,
right?
Because the warehouse crowd was kind of, for lack of a better word, I'm going to say bougie in a good kind of way, because it was an underground scene. Nobody knew about it. But when you take Mendel to invite them to the warehouse, it's like introducing them to a gay community, introducing them to a new type style of music. It was new fashion. I'll never forget, GQ magazine had really kind of started like around that time too.
Okay.
And they had their group Gentleman's Quarterly you was talking about.
Right.
And they called it a GQ, but everybody was dressing nice. It was fashion. That's right. And we started moving away from dancing.
Yeah.
It was like everybody danced, so now it was like, let's be presentable. Let's get ready to graduate and go off to college and go to school and stuff. We really stopped like in '78 when we graduated. Okay. But the Kirk Townsend was the DJ, and he carried on that tradition.
Yes, he did.
And that's what lifted up the house. They used to give concerts and stuff. And then Farley Knuckles, who was the DJ. Frankie Knuckles. I'll call him. Oh, they gonna both get me. Well, Frankie rest in peace. But Farley gonna get on my case. But all those guys used to come through, and it took off. And Mendel's definitely associated, connected to that history and legacy. But Tim, you, Dr. Scholls, the manager of the doctors. And anything else you want to say, man? The people say they know, man.
I just appreciate the experience I had. It was a lot of fun. It sure was a lot of fun.
All right. Well, this interview has been fun for me, man. Reminding me of all the times that we used to laugh and kick it, man. And then it'll never be no times like that, in my humble opinion, man. Right on, my brother.
All right.
Right on.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Scholls.
Thank you, Doctor.
Right on, man.